Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy, and this is a vinyl finds and purchases video. Some of the stuff I picked up lately, and a little extra at the end is, there are also vinyl purchases, but well, I'll explain that when I get to there. But let's get started. And the first one, it's because I have quite a few, so I'll try to go through these fast. I got the Go-Betweens and the album Metal and Shells. This is the first vinyl album I have by the Go-Betweens, and this is actually a compilation album. It came out in 1985. Go-Betweens were from Queensland, Australia, kind of jangle pop indie rock. And this, like I said, is a compilation from songs off their first three albums. But the first vinyl album I have, it's hard to find Go-Betweens on vinyl, at least in my area of the country. And it was on the PVC label. Next one is the Temptations, Getting Ready. I think they just had a reissue of this, but this is I think an original copy. This was on the Gordy label, which was one of the Motown labels named for Berry Gordy. This has some great songs, but the title track is great, of course. And Too Busy Thinking About My Baby, which Marvin Gaye also recorded. Ain't Too Proud to Beg, which is a great tune. And then some ones that I didn't really know but are still great songs that could have been singles, like Not Now, I'll Tell You Later. There's the track listing of it. Great album by the Temptations. Next I have a cool compilation album by a record label, the Numero Group, I think based out of Chicago, where they've released a lot of compilations of little-known studios and labels. And this is Local Customs Cavern Sound, which was a small recording studio in Independence, Missouri, which is a suburb of Kansas City. And I think these were mostly local groups. But yeah, it's got a cool booklet shows some of the 45s that these groups had, of the songs that they've got recorded. They've got the Reactions, Stonewall, the 21st Century Movement. And these are a bunch of garage rock, psychedelic rock, and hard rock. This is Pretty, Bobo's Creation, but yeah, really cool booklet that comes with it. Tells all about the groups. And I looked some of those up on Discogs, and there's even one, the single the guy wants over $1,000 for. But yeah, very valuable to collect some of these singles that were in this group. And the only one that I actually had something by, and they actually did pretty well for themselves, I guess. There was a group called Morning Star, and I actually have one of their albums that are included on this. They actually got signed with Columbia and have kind of a minor hit here, at least in this area of the country. Sunshine, Changing of the Season. They had two albums come out, I think, on Columbia, and then I don't know if they were dropped or the band just continued, but I don't think they have any other releases. But yeah. So that was a great compilation by Numero Group, which you can look for their albums because they got some cool things. And the album also came with an insert that shows a lot of the albums that they have available. There's some really cool stuff. I do have several of the Eccentric Soul releases that they have on here, but yeah, great company, Numero Group. Next, and Larry Graves will be happy for me, and I have the Sparks album, Gratuitous Sax and Senseless Violins. Kind of got this tabloid National Enquirer look on the cover, but just a great kind of synth pop from 1994 with some humorous lyrics. Another album I found was this Michael Bloomfield album called Bloomfield, a retrospective, including some unreleased material. Some nice photos inside. But he has this is a great guitarist, and he has some work with Electric Flag, Al Cooper, John Hammond, Of course, got a lot of fame because of his work with Bob Dylan and the Blues Breakers and all that. But yeah, Al Cooper did some great stuff with Al Cooper. Yeah, Michael Bloomfield. Also got the great Billie Holiday, her album Lady in Satin, which came out in 1958. Actually, this copy shows a 6i Columbia label, but no, this was a reissue in 2015, so it's not an original. Next, some jazz with John Coltrane and his album Ballads. Great album. This is one of his most accessible albums for the people that aren't really big into the hard bop. This might be a John Coltrane album to try out. This is a 2020 reissue. Of course, originally it was on Impulse. There you go. I guess I'm always forgetting things. I guess I should say in this John Coltrane album that you got, of course, John Coltrane on tenor sax, Elvin Jones on drums, and Jimmy Garrison on bass, and McCoy Tyner on piano. Yeah, McCoy Tyner on piano. And like I said, there's Elvin Jones and Jimmy Garrison, and of course, John Coltrane. Hope that clears anything up. And then last year, Sun Records was celebrating its 70th anniversary, and two of the most important people in rock history, I bought their albums. Of course, Jerry Lee Lewis, and this is the Killer Keys of Jerry Lee Lewis. And it's got a couple alternate takes, and then, of course, his hits, and then some lesser-known songs, which I had to have because I got to have about everything. I think I have about everything of Jerry Lee Lewis. And it's really nice that he wrote the liner notes on here. And this would have been right before he passed away, because he passed away last year. And then the other one I got was Carl Perkins, the King of Rockabilly, and it has an alternative version of Honey Hush on here. And it has his hits, and then some lesser-known Carl Perkins tunes. And it says Stan Perkins that did the liner notes, which is his son, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, cool album. And two artists that you need to have some music by because they were so important to rock history. And these last three are albums I purchased, but I haven't shown on my channel before. I was doing a CD exchange on Rich Strickler's channel, and these albums were ones I was supposed to review, and then I ended up getting because I really love the album. So I might as well show these. Well, I guess the first one isn't one that I used on Rich Strickler's channel. But anyway, and that is The First Boy on the Moon. There's a track listing. This is a Swedish alternative rock group. This album came out in 2021. It's just a fantastic rock album, really. If you like that, it's sung in English, and it's on this blue vinyl with kind of a cool label design there. You got the moon, and then you have the boy. But yeah. So this is an album I would recommend. Anybody who likes alternative rock or just rock music in general. Next is Fat Pop, Volume 1. I don't know if there's going to be another volume or not. But this is by Paul Weller, of course, of Jam and Style Council fame, great solo career. It's got some great R&B tinged alternative rock. Comes with a nice poster with the lyrics on the back. A little cumbersome, I guess, to read the lyrics. But yeah, nice shot of Paul there. And it's on the Polydor label. And last but not least is this Steven Wilson album, Hand Dot Cannot Dot Erase Dots from 2000. 15. Got the lyrics there as well. Kind of alt rock, progressive rock. Was in the band Porcupine Tree. Also does some great remixes of albums. And it's kind of a neat concept album, and it's about a lady that died. Well, it's kind of based on a lady that died, and she wasn't discovered in her apartment for 2 years, which is kind of amazing. And there you can see the cool designed labels. 2 record set here. But yeah, Steven Wilson, and of course Steve at All the World's a Stage will be happy I have this album. So I hope everyone's doing well, and everyone take care.